I have sent out numerous letters over the years, over the past 4 years, trying to get people to clean up their junk and whatnot. There has been a dissentiment, a factor that feels that it's my property, I'll do with it as I want. And for the last almost a year now, we've been without a police judge, so we've been unable to issue any citations to these people because the magistrate court cannot enforce and hear town ordinances. And it's totally a town ordinance, it's not a state law that they have to clean up. And we have limited success. Monday night I was showing some pictures from another council person, and there has been several properties cleaned up, but not all of them.
Thank you. Mark?
I assisted as much as I could just as a resident with the design of the new junk abandoned houses and grass ordinance. I fully support it, and I do feel that we can get people to do this. I also have a volunteer group that wants to help people clean up their yards. So if they want to help it, we can help them. And that's not that's not the town doing it this time, but we can stop them from getting a warning citation or having to go to court. That would be great. And I want to help, and there's people that want to help everybody with this.
Thank you. Sam?
Not having the municipal judge has been part of the missing link there. But I'd also like to, that's an area that we could get some civic groups to help. I'd like to see the town in some areas. It is a free country. We want folks to clean their property up, but some folks are not so inclined. So it's a difficult project to tackle. But nevertheless, I think that in some areas, if we had to send the town equipment and a couple of guys to help initiate a cleanup, to help gather up larger objects and do what we could to help motivate people, all you have to do is clean up a couple of these messes, and the neighbors, I think, would want to do the same. Or that makes sense to me. I would hope that would be the case. But those are things that doesn't happen overnight, but we could be working at it and making a difference.
Thank you. Scott?
Well, like I said, the problem is not having a town municipal judge. Once we get the municipal judge in place, then we already have a town building inspector, and I would like to see the town building inspector meet with the council every month to discuss properties that need cleaned up, and whether we've spoke to the people in person, whether we mailed them letters, if there's any progress being made, if we've issued citations. When we start issuing citations, we'll have the judge that can enforce the citations. But at the same time, there's people that aren't capable of cleaning up their property. Maybe they want to, but aren't capable. And like Sam, I think that we could offer assistance. Have the day report people come out and assist, and maybe the town offer to haul the stuff away at no cost. The day report people provide labor. I think that we that would go a long way as far as getting a lot of properties cleaned up. And so I think that helping people would help out a lot.
Thank you. And BJ?
I think there are, in fact, I know that there are properties in town that were bought up after the last flood. For what reason, doesn't matter. But a lot of the people that own those buildings have now moved on to other towns, other states, and those buildings are sitting just rotting and falling down and collecting rats. There are also, lots of rental properties in this town, and a lot of them are owned by what I call absentee landowners who are never here to see what's going on at their property. They just collect the rent. If we own a home, we have the freedom, if we want to put up a garage or an outbuilding to store tires and all these things. If you're in a rental house, you have to take what the landlord gives you. And there are houses on the street I live on that are rented, and the tires are sitting in the front yard because there's no place to put them, so maybe we could address that.
Thank you. And Adam, please.
Well, I feel in order to enforce the ordinances, you need, like Joe said, and Sam and Scott, to have the municipal judge. That would be the first line of action. And yes, I do feel like we need to uphold them. You know, the ordinances are written from citizen input, and then the council and the mayor meet and create the ordinance, and it gets that way. So we're here to serve the citizens, so yes, I feel like we should start upholding the ordinances on tall grass and debris in yards and on the streets. Everything that has to go with it.
Thank you. Norris?
I will comment that into some of the other comments that have already been made up here at these tables, that the current administration has been attempting to correct these problems, particularly with dilapidated buildings. But I will also inform you, some people don't like to hear this, two things. One, we are held back by certain restrictions, wordings of ordinances, and the bottom line is some of the things that are written out there as law you may not like, but it's a private citizen's rights to be able to do that. We don't all agree on the same thing. We don't like our soup the same. We don't like our potatoes fried the same way. Those are things that you have to work out, and it's not a fast process.
Thank you. Don?
Yes, I'll support the ordinance. You know, I think that the town of Arlington needs cleaned up. But I also say this, if I'm going to support one ordinance, I think I ought to support them all. Not just one, not just pick one out of the bunch to try to support that one. I think if it's an ordinance in the town, that it ought to be enforced. And that's the way I feel about it.